Something I've been thinking about recently is understanding how your systems work. For me and my brain, this is something that comes naturally to me, but I realize it doesn't come for everybody. So I kind of need to explain it. This is my first attempt at explaining, so please just be a little patient with me if you don't mind. When you're trying to understand your system, you're basically trying to understand, what do I naturally do? And like really, really, really surface level basic reasons, why do I do it this way? And the really easy way to kind of contrast this is when you have somebody else that is in a similar job function or has to do the same task and they do it completely differently. A big example that I hear a lot is with couples in dishwashers. This is just an example, and I'll get to the tech side in a second. But dishwashers, like, how do you load a dishwasher? When do you run it? You know, everybody has their own system. I used to be like, no, it has to be completely full. But I have switched over to the camp of, you know what, I'm just going to run it at night, and in the morning, I'm going to empty whatever's in there. Like, I don't know. That's just an example of, like, how you can kind of understand your systems. But the system that I'm kind of talking about is more about, like, in your job. And when you are thinking about how you do specific workflows or processes, and that is like a really big fancy word, but if we were kind of to break it down, a workflow would be like, what does an intake process for me look like? What does a planning period look like for me? What does work time sound like to me? There's all these kind of ways that you are naturally and you're already doing this work, but how are you kind of segmenting out your day or your time when you have the choice? You know, obviously we have appointments and sessions and meetings, and we can't, like, that's time that's dedicated. But in that free time of, okay, 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after, like, what am I doing? And becoming aware of what is happening during those times, and just understanding, like, I am getting out a piece of paper so I can take notes. Like, it can be, that is my process, that is my system, and this is why. It can be really simple. And the idea behind understanding what your systems are doing is to understand where you might be able to offload some of that mental work. Like a super easy way to do this is with reminders or with calendar invites. You know, that's a really, really easy, basic way to kind of set up your system to start working for you and you not having to work for it. That is something that I think about a lot, but I don't really share it as much. And so I'm starting to share and think about, okay, this is something that comes really naturally to me, is how to make things more efficient and how to make them a little bit more automated, and so that we can enjoy our lives. I'm putting in the work now so we don't have to put in the work later. That's what I really think about a lot, but I don't verbalize it so much. So this is my first attempt. It is my first thought, and over time I will kind of like get a system down, but I'm going to practice every day. And kind of, as I'm thinking about this, kind of drop my nuggets in here. And eventually, someday, we will have this is how you create your system. Boom, 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 boom. And it'll be super easy, and it'll be super niche and super tailored. And you'll be able to kind of like try it for yourself. But for now, this is what we got. Main takeaway today is think about your systems. Write down what you do, really surface level, why you do it. And just start to kind of take note of that, keep track of that, and then from there we'll figure out ways that we can either digitize it, automate it, or even get rid of it, maybe, fingers crossed, if it's stuff that we really don't need to do, don't have to do, and all that.